Welcome to the Locker Room. Coach Giggs here, and today's message, hold on to your dreams. Hold on to your dreams. Now, you've heard this message before, but you're going to hear from someone today, someone very special in this locker room who's going to share with you her spin, her life with regards to holding on to dreams. I have with me here today in the locker room probably the most special and most important guest I could ever have. Her name is Mama Giggs. Hi, Mom. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm good to see you. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Glad you're here in the locker room. So, you know, earlier I asked you. I says, Mom, if I have the opportunity to speak about your life, and if you have an opportunity to think about your life, of all the things that you've done and you've gone through, what would you say is one of the most important lessons you've learned, life lesson-wise, that has prepared you to live such a good life here in your latter years? You're now how old, Mom?
I'll be 82 this coming November.
She looks good, doesn't she? Yeah, that's my mama. Looking good, Mom. So, so what would it say? We were talking earlier about it. You know, the message is hold on to your dreams. You were sharing with me earlier some of your stories of back in the day. Why don't you tell those in the locker room a little bit about what it means to you to hold on to your dreams?
Well, in 82 years, I've lived a long life, and I've seen highs and I've seen lows, and I'm at a point where if I look back, I don't have any regrets with my life at all. I'm thankful to God that I am where I am, and I think going through my lifetime, the fact that I always was a very, I was going to say, a person that always looks forward, always dreamed. I always had high ambitions and high hopes.
You always were a positive person.
Always positive,
always optimistic.
Yeah, always did. Maybe because of circumstances, whatever. But I am proud of everything I've ever done. I'm proud mostly of my 3 sons that I've had. I've had a good marriage, and
so there it is. There it is. You've had 3 sons. Mm-hmm. Okay, you had Dad, who was your husband, who unfortunately had a stroke at 43 years old. Mm-hmm. Kind of left you struggling to keep it all together with 3 boys. You kept several jobs going, and you seemed to be able to hold on to your dreams back then, even though it was tough. How did you do that?
I think what happens is, however God plays this role, because of the situation I was in, I had 2 ways to go, either become negative or positive, and I refused to be negative. And so I just opened up doors, knocked on doors, and everything I did was something I wanted to do.
You know, one of the stories I think of when I think of holding on to your dreams with you is that your father had died and left you a small amount of money, and you took that money and you opened up a beauty salon for Dad, your husband, and the business struggled, and yet you stepped in at the last minute to save that business. I remember running around with flyers in my hand, buy 1 haircut, get 1 free, and you were very entrepreneurial very early on. Like, you took that little bit of money, you opened up a beauty shop. You had that for 5 years, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And you did very well. And then and then you sold it, I think, to Mary Ann, right?
I sold it to a gentleman who had a beauty salon. He was working in a beauty salon, and he came in and took that, and then I opened up a local bar because I was going to come to Florida, and my youngest son wanted to graduate with his class, so I was stuck in the same neighborhood of Long Island. So I bought this little bar, and I've had a lot of friends, and I never was in a bar in all the 40 years that I lived, ever saw a bar. And all of a sudden I had all these friends. We opened it up, we had a lot of good times, we had a lot of parties, but after 3 years I bought it to build it and sell it, which is what I did. And because of that, I met my second husband, who was very good to me, and life just has its own turns.
So here you are. Now you leave New York, you go to Florida, you open up a pet supply store. Here you are again. You don't want to go work for anyone, you want to work for yourself. You're holding on to your dreams. And so what happened down there, and how did all of that
Well, like I said, I went from women to men to the dogs, and I did a lot of different positions. I've also gone into real estate, and I've got my insurance license also. But it happened where the pet shops, pet supply, my husband was taking care of it. There was no reason for two of us to stand there over each other. So I went to the state and took a job, worked for the state, and just went on from there. Put my 20 years, retired with the state in Florida. Because in Florida, the money was not like it was up north. There's no unions. There's nothing down here to make you.
Sure.
So you have to create your own life, which is what I did.
So now you create this life. You spent 25 years in state, working for state. You moved your way up.
20 years retired with the state. Then got my real estate license again for the second time. And then I worked in real estate for 4 or 5 years. Then that bottomed out. Went back to school and went from.
How old were you when you went back to school?
72.
72. Mom, I could go on forever in this locker room, but we're running out of time. Here you are, 72 years old. You go back to school, you get your real estate license, you go into real estate, and I remember you calling me and telling me about all the success. By the way, all this money that you made, I haven't, you never sent me, I mean, I would have thought over the years that you made all that money, you might have bought me a car or something. Don't worry about it though, I did all right on my own, I didn't need your money. But here you are at 72 years of age. And so, as I close out this segment of the locker room,
it was all exciting.
It was, and that's every time I'm with you, you're always positive, you're always smiling, you're always happy, you're always doing something because you've always had goals. Yes. I've always known that about you, and so because of that, thank God I learned that as well. And for the millions of people out there in the locker room, what would you say to them in closing that they can do so that they too can realize their dreams and their goals? What would you say?
I would say never give up. Never give up your dreams. And when things seem to be the worst, there's always a tunnel and a door opening up. Never give up. I think a lot of it has to do with your attitude in life. And I've always had a positive attitude until this day, until the day I die. I still plan on making vacations and trips. I don't know how long I'm going to be
I think you're taking your son, your older son. There it is again. You're taking him on all these trips.
That's
Me,
right.
I don't get taken anywhere. Where you taking him? Where you taking him?
We're going to the Bahamas.
The Bahamas.
And we're taking him.
And did he get his passport yet?
He will be.
Stay on top of him until he gets his passport. We've run out of time. Those of you in the locker room, thank you so much for being with me today. And Mama Giggs, good to have you in this locker room.
Thank you so much. Hey, I'm very happy for everybody.
Yes, you are.
Especially you.
Yeah, and I'm especially happy to have you as my mom. Happy Mother's Day. Love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, guys.
If you know someone you feel has a special story to tell or life to share, please email Eric directly and he will reach out to you and or this individual, even if you think this person is you. And by the way, if you've enjoyed and feel the Daily Locker Room has served as an inspiration in your life, why not share it with a friend by sending them the daily message?